Hi, Daniel Hayes, video blog number 48. Today I'm going to talk about presenting offers and negotiating. This brings agents unstuck. Those agents that have been in it 2 minutes, they've done a 2-week course, been reading the property guide for 10 years, think they can negotiate. I think they've got another thing coming. I look at the way that I used to negotiate in my year 1 to the way I negotiate, and I'm in my 8th year now. Very, very different. Very, very different. And, you know, I would get an offer in my first year or two. I'd nearly wet my pants, especially if it was in the range. I'd quickly ring the vendor. First thing I'd do is get a calculator and work out my commission. Then I'd check my credit card statement and probably go buy something. I'd go put something on lay-by. I'd be running around. I'd put it on the board. You know what I mean? I'd probably ring my wife and say, look, listen, we're going to Fiji. We're not going to Surfers this year. I'd be that excited. Then I'd tell the vendor, you know, they'd pat me on the back and I'd say, crack the champagne, the deal's done. You know, start packing. And I wouldn't even have it signed up or anything. And then what would happen is that people would ring up and say they found something else. And it would just, you know, and it would be a mess and it was just inexperience. And, you know, so today, you know, we don't operate like that. Our offers, and we have non-negotiables in our business. And if you don't know what a non-negotiable is, you probably shouldn't be a business owner. A non-negotiable is something that if you don't do it, you don't work in the business. That's as blunt as I can do. Non-negotiable in our business is offers in writing. We present offers in writing and we present them with a deposit or a part deposit. That way we know people are the real deal. We don't put every offer in writing. If we get stupid offers in, we don't put them in writing. But we do stuff in writing, okay? In regards to commission, the only thing you get paid commission for, in my view, is how to negotiate. Real estate isn't about conducting an open home. Real estate isn't about booking photos. You know, it's not about getting a board up. It's not about prospecting. You get paid the money because I like to think a vendor employs me. They think if they employ Daniel Hayes, they can get an extra 2.5%, 5%, 10%, 20% extra because of my negotiating ability. Now, I just want to say this. 50% of transactions, I don't think I do a whole great deal in regards to negotiating. I know there's some homes I've sold that I definitely made a difference in the sale price. Definitely made a difference. You know, particularly when I've had a vendor say, well, we're happy with that offer, and we've gotten more because it's been there. And, you know, we don't always do that. I think people try and be a smart-ass too in negotiating it and stuff it up. We don't try and do that. And, you know, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of what we do because everybody does it different and you're just opening up a can of worms. But, you know, I do think, you know, there's a difference between an order taker and a negotiator. And I've seen people do this. They get an offer. Thanks for the offer. You know, property's on at 400 to 440. They say, thanks for the offer. They give the vendor the 400. The vendor says, go jam. It's only been on the market a week. Agent says, no worries. Goes back to the person, says it's not been accepted. Person comes up $5,000 and then it goes on forever. Other agents will start people at the top of the range, you know, to start it. And I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of what we say, but you know, there's certainly strategies as you get experience in this industry, you know, to sell property at high prices. It can be done. It totally can be done. And I think, and this is the most powerful thing I'll say for this video blog, is, and I say this all the time to my guys, all the time, when you relinquish, when you let go of the money, of the commission, and really, you know, let that buyer know that you can walk, see you later, thanks your offer, it ain't going to buy it, I've told you. Let it go, instead of thinking this, oh, they're the only buyer, haven't had an offer for 4 weeks, the vendor's busting my balls. You know, once you relinquish all of that and let that buyer go, that is when you're going to get the best offer, because that's when they're going to ring back. You know, and I think a lot of the times until you get to that point, we had an auction on the weekend where, you know, bidding stalled at 520. You know, the vendor wanted 560. After the auction, we only negotiated to 535. Vendor was still at 560. I told the guy, you know, we told him, you've got to come to 560, mate. It's not being sold a cent under it. He walked away. He said, thanks, Danny, we're going to find something else. I said, good luck. He rang me back. You know, we didn't try and get the vendor to take the 535. We believed it was worth, well, we didn't believe it was worth 560. The vendor was really, you know, we don't play gatekeeper on price, so you know, but we let him go when it was hard because we were only sort of 15, 20 grand away, and it is a tighter market now in Geelong. And you know, he rang me back. He came to 550. Obviously presented to the vendor. Vendor still at 560. Again, he said he wasn't coming up again. We wished him well. We wished him well. We didn't go back to our vendor and say, "Come on, mate, you got to take it. You're crazy. We'll let him go." The purchaser rang back again and came up up to another $5,000, and we put the deal together. You know, and that was negotiating, and that sort of probably went on for about 6 hours. Now, not all negotiations are like that, but you know, that was a good result. It was a good result for the vendor, and the purchaser got to buy the house that they wanted to buy. That purchaser many times told me they're not paying a cent over X amount, and I know that 80% of agents would have believed him, and it is until that you let go of the outcome and don't care about the commission and just really think that you're batting for your vendor here. Within the realms of sensibility, that's when you're really going to get the highest sale price. So I don't know if I really made any sense there. I do this stuff straight from my head. I haven't written it down to think about, well, this is what I'll talk about. This is how we do it. This is how I do it. This is how the business does it. That's the video blog for today.